So how do I feel sober?
Yeah, how do you feel sober?
So I was saying before, I don't wake up rainbows and butterflies. Sometimes I wake up with negative thoughts or stress about the day, and I really try to ground myself. I say a gratitude list. I talk to other alcoholics. I pray. I and I try to keep things in the moment. I try to remind myself, like, sometimes I go off the handle. I'm still human, like the stuff still goes on. I just have a lot more control over my emotions than I did when I was active. So I feel like a more stable human being.
That's good. Yeah, I
Yeah.
got you. And tell me about the 12 steps, real quick.
So a brief summary of the 12 steps is that, in the first couple of steps, you learn that you're powerless over the disease. You kind of learn what the disease is about, that it's a physical um, allergy. So we're addicted to it. Once you put alcohol in your body, you don't know what's going to happen. That's the difference between an alcoholic and a non-alcoholic. It's a mental obsession and a spiritual malady. Like there's something missing inside that you're trying to fill, right? So you understand different ways that you were powerless or that your life became unmanageable because of your drinking. You realize that you're not in control. You turn your life over to a power bigger than yourself. And then you start to, in step 4, you clean house. You start to list all the things you've been resentful for throughout your life, all the people you've harmed, that have harmed you, how they made you feel. And then you get to the part where you talk about, and what was your part in it? And that is transformational, because you start to learn, even if you were like abused as a kid, it's not your fault that, your mom would beat you while you're in the shower, right?
Mhm.
But if you wear that trauma as a blanket, as an excuse so that you could beat your kid in the shower, that's your part, right? So
Yeah.
I started to see, like, I'm not always the victim. I have more control over my life than I think. And yeah, certain things were not fair, but I don't have to live in the past. I have control over today. And share you then the fifth step is sharing that with another alcoholic. So I had to open up my deepest, darkest secrets and the dirtiest things I've done with another person. And they know so much about the disease that they're like, I did that too. That's how I acted. That's how I thought. And then the next few steps is figuring out what your character defects are, trying to turn them over and be a different, a better person. And then in the 8th step, you make your amends list, the people you've harmed. And then the 9th step is going around to everybody that you've harmed and genuinely asking for forgiveness, but being okay if they don't forgive you, just knowing that you're doing your best to clean up your side of the street. And then 10, 11, and 12 is basically living every day in the program. 10 is checking yourself every night. Who did I harm? Was I selfish? Was I manipulative? Taking accountability immediately, because it's those resentments and that kind of behavior that leads you to want to drink. So checking your emotions and your behaviors every day, and then, turning it over, prayer, meditation, and helping other alcoholics. And that's kind of a program for survival for me.
And do you still go to the programs?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, this disease will go on until I die. I'm always going to be an alcoholic.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people have this um, misconception that once
Conception.
you stop drinking, that you got the disease. No, the disease is forever. It's like cancer. You could always go into a relapse, right?
Mm-hmm.
So right now my alcohol's at bay. It's in remission, but it's contingent upon how many meetings I go to, how connected I am with other alcoholics. If I start falling, there's times where I fall to the side and I don't go to meetings, and then I start to get negative thoughts, bad
Mm-hmm.
behaviors, the stuff starts to creep up again. So
Okay. So when you were doing your transformative phase and, identifying your defects and stuff, it's how do you do it? Because it's challenging for us to kind of like look into ourselves and say, yeah, this is what I do. This is what I do wrong. This is, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We can easily say everything that we do great,
Mm-hmm.
but to pick out what's wrong, you know what I'm saying? That's challenging unless you're looking in the mirror and that's something different. But you know what I'm
Well,
saying?
this is why I'm a big supporter of Alcoholics Anonymous or any kind of 12-step program, because number one, the steps are there for you laid out. So the program shows you how to do it. The big book, you read about your disease, you read about how the disease affects you, how you behave, you start to learn what character defects are, and you have a sponsor that did this before you that shows you what they did so that you can follow the steps and understand where you're seeing things not correctly, and starting to get different perceptions and perspectives on things that you used to see only one way. You know, a lot of us only see things through one lens, right? This opens up your lens and you're able to start to see yourself. And what happens is, like, I'll give you an example.
Hmm?
Like, let's say, so my ex ended up cheating on me and that's how we broke up. So when I was doing the resentment with him, it was like, well, how did he hurt me? Well, he cheated on me, he lied. What did this affect? My ego, my pride, my self-esteem. um what was my part in it? Well, I I tortured him. Once I knew he cheated, I took him back and I tortured him. I was like, you know, constantly jealous and possessive. I wouldn't let it go. Like, there's always a part that I play. So it wasn't, the resentment started to be not about the fact that he cheated, because it doesn't mean that that doesn't count, because it
Hmm.
does. But I can't control that. I can control how I behaved and reacted to it. And that's what I learned with everything. Like, I'm only in control of my reaction, my behavior, my response. I can't help how you treat me, but I don't have to treat you the same way. Like, you know, when people are saying, well, he got me so mad, I punched him in the face. No. You got mad and couldn't control yourself, so you punched him in the face. Nobody makes you do something else.
Hmm.
So it's kind of learning how to take responsibility for your own shit, honestly.
Mm. Uh, this it was this was great. It was wonderful talking to you
Thank you.
and and having you speak your truth and your story about this. And I know it's gonna help a lot of people who watch this video. And I thank you very much for sharing it. I know it probably was very challenging for you to speak, but we got you here, and
No,
now you just made yourself stronger
thank you.
because of it.
Well, yeah, out of self and into others. If anybody got something out of this, then I've done my job.
Yeah. No.
And send me the deets. I'd love to see this and hear it.
Of course, I'll send it to you. Don't worry
Okay.
about that. You
I'm also
okay?
going to send you my website. So if anybody
Eh,
needs a
share your website.
therapist or
Share your
anything.
website, and I'll put
Okay.
it on. I'll also put it on the description on the video. Go ahead. Tell
Awesome.
people where people can catch you.
Very good.
Go ahead. Tell them.
Thank you so much. Oh, it's, oof. Hold on. I'm at Headway, but you would have to look me up. Christina Talios, T like Tom, Alleos.
Mhm.
So let's see. Let me see if I could share. What do I do? Put it in the chat?
Well, no, you could say it, and you could send it to me, and I'll put it on the description of the video. But you could tell people where they can get you right now on
Okay,
the
so they can
video.
find
Yeah,
me on Headway or on
yeah.
Psychology Today. And now I'm also on ZocDoc. So Christina
Ooh,
Talios,
Zocdoc.
Talleos.
Nice.
Okay.
So, and then you send me the information. I'll put it in the description of the videos, each video, because there's going to be several videos of this.
Okay.
Okay, so everyone can
All right.
catch Double A Club podcast on Spotify, Amazon Music, and Iheart, and any other podcast app. Thank you very much,
All
and you
right.
guys have a wonderful day, and I hope you learned something.
All right.